Hi everyone, my name is Dina Abdalla and this is my United Nations opening address. When I was young, I loved Disney movies. The Lion King, Pocahontas, The Little Mermaid, Cinderella, and Cars were the stories of my childhood. I was dancing along with the animals at Pride Rock, bobbing my head along to Hakuna Matata, and cheering Simba on against Scar. Watching Pocahontas, I wanted to have fun in the wild, dance with my tribe, and paint with the colors of the wind. I wanted to fall in love with my Prince Charming and be a mermaid in the deep blue sea. Growing up, people around me only reinforced this innocent view of the world. In school, we were told to dream big, leaving no room for reality. I soon realized that the world was not always glass slippers and happily ever afters. The main difference between me and my childhood stories is that they were fake, fiction, fairy tale. While Lightning McQueen was winning every race, I was stuck watching. Cinderella was mistreated by her stepmother and sisters, but she got to have the night of her life with the help of her fairy godmother. In the real world, when 3.7 million girls tried to go to school in Afghanistan, they had no magical fairy dust. With the help of her tribe, Pocahontas was able to save her forest from the European newcomers. But when over 60 million lost their homes in Mexico City, Sao Paulo, Buenos Aires, and Rio de Janeiro, there was no savior. Lightning McQueen got all of Radiator Springs to help him win the Piston Cup, but here, only hours away, people in Flint, Michigan were without clean water. And they didn't have a pit crew to help. It's time we start learning from our childhood stories and begin making a difference in our world. We live in a world where countries refuse citizenship to certain religious groups. We live in a world where people are not paid equally for doing the same job. We live in a world where we are told to tolerate one another, where instead we should be loving one another. I know what you're thinking. I have a job. I take 18 AP classes. I play 3 sports. I don't have time and I can't even do anything, even if I did. Our world is hopeless. Far too often, we let these issues discourage us rather than empower us. Even though I'd like to, I can't solve these world problems. I mean, I get it. How can I, a little speck in the universe, actually make a difference? I can't. But we can. Even Simba needed help from Nala, Rafiki, Timon, and Pumbaa in order to overthrow Scar. Yes, there are pressing issues in our world, but without working together, we'll never find the hero of our story. So let's start working together. Not as Black people and white people, or as Christians and Muslims, or as Americans and immigrants, but as humans. The United Nations was established 75 years ago to keep countries from fighting. But the United Nations has moved beyond just being a preventative measure. We can maintain international peace and security, yes, but also with 100 countries represented here today, we can protect human rights, deliver humanitarian aid, promote sustainable development, and uphold international law, only if we work together. And eventually, we'll become the change makers of the future. If each of us focuses on a couple of issues that we want to tackle, we can work together to solve any problem. We are the United Nations, after all. So put aside your differences so that we begin changing the world. Soon enough, we'll find the unsuspecting hero inside each of us. And we'll make a world like the one we dreamt of when we were young. So in the words of Walt Disney himself, let's stop talking and start doing. I know, fire speech. But I never got to deliver it in front of the KUNA 3 delegation. I'm sure you all know by now that high school and middle school KUNA 3 conferences were canceled because of the coronavirus. Yeah, I know, it sucks. For some of you, it was going to be your first high school conference. For some, it was the last. And for me and my PO team, it was going to be the conference we led. But after an entire year's worth of work, we never got to. So I know how bad it feels. While some of the programs have been able to do awesome work online, like the ICJ and Secretariat programs, we won't be able to recreate the entire conference online. But the amazing thing about KUNA is that's more than just a conference. It's a movement with more than 1,000 people from Kentucky leading it. And the interesting part is that they will stop at nothing to speak up about what they believe in and to help people around the globe. So why is this any different? While we can't meet in person, there are a lot more things that we can do in today's digital society. Take Greta Thunberg, for example, 17-year-old Swedish environmental activist who got her start on the internet. And unlike Greta, we're lucky enough to have a whole community of students ready to start discussions. Now, we do have one issue that's kind of been taking over right now. If you haven't heard, it's called COVID-19. While it has taken a lot from us, it's time to fight back. And I don't mean going out to square up with a virus. Terrible idea. I mean helping others who are struggling because of the situation. While KUNA did get canceled, for some their only access to education, food, and a paycheck has been ripped away. So it's time to renew our KUNA spirit and help those that Corona has hurt. And this will be KUNA 3's legacy. The Y staff and my PO team have been working hard to find ways to help you guys start this service. So be on the lookout for new information coming your way through the Kentucky YMCA page. And it's time to start getting #KUNA active. See you guys soon.